18 people. Screened out 18 people.
Because what he said was they found those 18 not to be culpable.
Precisely. They screened them out. They found them not culpable, even though they are largely of the northern, stock.
Those 18 or
the 18,
many of the 18?
The 18.
All the 18?
No, not all the 18. Many of the 18. And eventually, they embark on media trial to convince the whole country without completing investigation. You can see that even the police PRO could not even name the Oba involved. He had no idea of the name of the Oba involved because investigation has not been conducted in full. But the police IG, for one reason or the other, they decided to parade the 20 Yoruba people.
What does the Afenifere want now? What do you want to be done?
Look, what is clear is that the police seems to be partial in the whole process. The attitude of the police, the scene of the crime, the crime was committed, alleged crime at Ife. If that is the case, there is an high court in Ife. Ife has the jurisdiction, Osun State has the jurisdiction on this matter, not Abuja. Why did they move people to Abuja, if not for other considerations?
Okay, so what's the panel of inquiry set up by the governor of Osun State? What is its modus operandi, and what do you hope to achieve with that constitution?
Look, what Osun State government is trying to do is to establish the facts. What happened? There must be a thorough investigation. What seems to be clear now is that everyone seems to have agreed that the police, has behaved in an unacceptable way. That is, they have not demonstrated impartiality. Please note some things that the police spokesperson said. He said the commissioner of police is a Yoruba man.
Yeah.
But then they took the case away from him and gave it to who in Abuja.
Now let me ask you, because you said that at the point of moving the case from Osun to Abuja, that fact or that bit of information of someone's head being severed was lost
and paraded on a trolley.
Now, couldn't the police in Osun have forwarded that information to the police in Abuja?
Well, that precisely explains, the difficulty in comprehending the actions of the Nigerian police force. The police made it worse. If they have only simply behaved impartially, the Osun Police Command was doing a thorough job. They've actually put the situation under control before Abuja decided to take the case away, and then chose to parade only a faction involved in that clash. It is this not only the attitude of parading a faction, which is media trial, before investigation, that we found unacceptable. We also found unacceptable the fact that there are missing bits, very important bits of information.
Which other part?
Which is precisely the aspect of somebody's head being paraded, on a trolley. That is an unacceptable conduct in this part of the world. And secondly, Ife is the cradle of the Yoruba people. It is totally unacceptable for anyone to come into Ife and think that they can sever people's head, parade them unknowingly without police intervention. We also found unacceptable the fact that even the victim, the woman that was slapped, was arrested by the police, and not even the man that slapped him. Till now, the man that slapped that woman that started this crisis has not been arrested.
Because I heard the police say that those people who were arrested on the scene of the crime.
Look, some people were arrested, somebody for holding the found foreign currency in him, and because of that, they assume that it must have come from one of the bureau de change, the parallel market operators from northern extraction. They arrested somebody for being in the house of a suspect. They went to arrest a suspect and found a friend there, his own friend there. He was arrested. They arrested somebody for having a cutlass at home. If is an agrarian community, almost all houses will have a cutlass at home. He was arrested. They arrested somebody for having an axe at home. Look, in this part of the world, where do you have the gas to fire? Many people living in Ife today are still using the firewood. So having an axe at home should not necessarily constitute an evidence against you.
Okay.
How many people were found at the scene of the crime?
If we were going to call this, let's call a spade and call it what it is really. The police PRO says that this is not a conflict on tribal lines. What do you say to this?
It's obviously being economical with the truth on this very issue. It is quite clear to everybody from all newspapers' accounts, from broadcast station's account that obviously it's a clash between some members of the Yoruba community and some members of the Hausa community. That's obvious to everybody. So for the police, to say it is not, quite baffling.
They say it's a clash between people who have been living together for a long time.
They are trying to play down the incident.
That's also true.
They are also trying to play down the incident. The people have been living together, but there are certain conducts totally unacceptable in this part of the world. You cannot sever somebody's head and push it, in a trolley, openly to attack the people and then not expect a response.
Okay, well, these are very serious points that you've raised. Well, let's get the police to respond to this one, and we'll come back to you as well. Makwe.
Well, thank you, Chamberlain. I'm sure that Mr. Jimo heard you heard Mr. Shomi there. What is your take on it? He says that, first of all, that case was moved. There'll be questions as to why was the case moved.
Thank you so much. Before I go into the question you're asking me, I want to make it clear to him that the Oba was Oba Ademola Ademiluji, the Lawa Rakin of Abuja land. So for him to say I don't know the name of the Oba, I think it would be wrong. I want to let him know that most of his assertions were false. In the first instance, people that were found, we paraded those axes. Those are not axes that are meant to split firewood. These are axes that even some of them were found with blood stain on them. And people, if you commit a crime...
You have that in your custody?
Yes, well, we have all those. It was equally displayed.
The axes are in your custody?
Yes, it was equally displayed.
Okay.
And like I said earlier on, people that we release are people that are not found culpable.
But he talked about two things. He talked about a piece of information getting missing in the process of
the first I want
to Abuja.
Yes, madam. It is very good to clear the point that we don't have any complaint apart from their publication in the media that somebody head was severe, and it leads to a snowball into people now going to attack the outside instructions. We don't have that complaint, and I don't think
you didn't find that out in the course of your investigation.
Yes, nobody had made such a complaint to us, and we've not been able to find that out because the investigation was thorough. Investigation was thorough because the intervention force were on the ground in Ile-Ife, and they have an investigative aspect that was equally led by another commissioner of police under the supervision of Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of investigation.
So you do not have that information?
We don't. And
why was the case moved from Abuja?
No, I think it's better to clear this. If the Afenifere has a picture or they have the evidence of somebody has been severe, they should present it to the public and let the public know that their allegation and accusation is correct. No. They should provide evidence, even because the picture of the 46 people that were killed will resist the temptation of presenting to public because it can lead to further crisis. And we want him to know that we moved the investigation to Abuja because we want a thorough investigation to the matter. Because we believe if you look at certain kind of crisis, suspects that were arrested were equally brought to Abuja to be paraded and for further investigation, because we'll be able to do a thorough investigation without any interference. So what Afenifere is doing, because he has laid lengthy allegation against the police, I have to mention the name of the organization he represents, is trying to incite public, and which is not appropriate for such an organization that are well trusted and well believed by their people. And it is really important that you don't cast aspersion. Investigation is there. When you go to court, you can see your case there. When such an organization is not championing a cause of disunity and calling what has happened an ethnic class, then it's quite unfortunate again. So, but I want everybody to listen to us that even as at now, the investigation is still open. If you know if there's any other people from the opposing side that have done what and how, you can equally still report at the police station. The police will still take the case. And mind you, the judicial panel of inquiry have been set up by the Osun State government, and police is part of it. And these are to further look at what police have equally done on this matter. But we will not be cowed by any organization in whatsoever any name from going further in ensuring that thorough investigation is done to serve as an effective deterrent to any other that would decide to take laws into it and start attacking people. It would be fair, it would be unfair rather to stay in Lagos or stay in other locations and start seeing what is happening in Ife. So it is good to get in touch with the people on the ground there.
I want you to address this quickly. You say that you are the people whom you arrested were arrested on the spot.
Most of them, when I say at the scene of crime,
yes,
were those that were released. Some of them were arrested at the scene of crime and were found not to be culpable.
Because
and they were
you also released
some
the
people
report
were,
earlier when you said that some of them were arrested in hiding.
That's what I'm going to.
As far as Lagos.
Yes, he misquoted me. But I'm trying to make emphasis on those who were released. Despite that some of them were arrested at the scene of crime, there's no any other evidence, prima facie evidence, to link them to the crisis, and they were released. While the Oba is talking about the Oba Ademola Ademiluyi, the Walaraki of Apuchi in Ife, was arrested from Lagos. If you are a traditional ruler in charge of an area and there's a crisis in your place, I think the best place to run to is your state headquarters. You can run to Oshogbo or run to anywhere to tell your people this is what is happening there. And a lot of them were arrested in Ibadan, where they were hiding. Especially the woman that was assaulted was arrested in Ibadan, and the
you arrested the woman who was assaulted?
The woman that was the assault lead to this crisis, that the husband went and mobilized to and start attacking people, were arrested far away from Ife.
Well, we're going to have to take a moment now, Mr. Mishud. We'll come back and talk about the location of the people and where they were arrested. That will be in just a moment. Don't go away.